All right. Good morning. This is Kathy Peck of Tea and Stamps. You can see my creations at teandstamps.blogspot.com. I usually have a little sheet of paper out here with that information, but apparently this morning I didn't bring it. Oh, hi, Susan. How are things in Georgia? I'm still adjusting my space. There we go. Well, anyway, today I'm going to play with tissue paper and I'll recreate these two cards for you. This one and this one using the Forever Fern bundle. So I think we'll do this one first because it's the easier of the two. Okie dokie. So is everybody excited? I'm excited. So, you know, a few months, maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago, I did the cotton ball technique where you stamp on the paper with cotton ball. Well, tissue paper is not that much different. But let me show you the Forever Fern. Most of you know where that is. It's like it's way back here. It should be closer to the front of the catalog. Here we go. It's so pretty. So pretty. So all we're using is the bundle and a little bit of the paper. I bought some of the suite. I didn't get the entire suite because I'm not a big fan of gold foil and those circle hoops, those gold hoops. They just, well, frankly, they just frightened me. I wasn't sure what I could do with them. So I just buy what I like and what I know I'll use. What I really regret not getting and I need to get is this ribbon. The ribbon that is kind of an open weave ribbon. I really, really like that. I've seen so many nice projects with that, and it looks like it takes the blends colors really, really well. So I'll have to get that. But anyway, that's enough of that banter. Here we go. Let's get started. All right, for card number 1, let me make sure I pull the right card out. Oh, let me show you this before I do this. This is just for the sake of advertising. I did use the Forever Flourishing Dies, the Forever Fern stamps. All I used from the stamps was the sentiments, none of the other stuff. I still need to come in a little. Oops. I have to keep looking at my camera to see how my camera placement is. Some days it's good and some days it's not so good. Hopefully today's better. And I did use the Tasteful Labels dies because they just worked out really well with this. I mean, these dies are great. The Tasteful Labels, I mean, they are going to be around for a while. Look at them. I mean, did everybody get them? Because if you didn't, you should. They're great. So, all right. So let me put these aside and get going. Okay, so for this particular card, I have a shaded spruce card base, and it's cut 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Some twine. If you remember when it used to come like this, or linen thread, I should say. I call it twine, but I still have some in this format. Can you believe it? I know I couldn't. All right, and then I did die cut 2 of the leaf images. This is in shaded spruce and this is in soft seafoam. I pre-cut my label and stamped it in the shaded spruce. All right, now today we have some decision making to do. On my original card, I stamped all 3 colors of the background onto Whisper White. So this morning I thought, what if I tried just putting the shaded spruce and the pear pizzazz on the soft seafoam? What do you all think about that? And if we don't like it, I have a backup piece of white to go to so that we can switch off if necessary. So give me your opinion and we'll give it a try, one way or the other. And then I'm going to grab my tissue paper. So while you're thinking if we should use white or soft seafoam, this is, I just have a small piece of tissue paper, you know, the kind you can pick up at the Walmart or any store, or even use, you know, a piece from an old gift that you have. I always use white. I have used the blue, the light blue that comes in the paper pumpkin kit, but I wouldn't go with any dark color in case it should transfer, which, you know, could be a problem. Okay, so what you want to do is just squish it up really good, and then unfold it, and then lightly just put it back together. All right, we're gonna, Mandy said let's try the soft seafoam. So let me find a little scratch of paper. Oh, there's my tag. I'm gonna set this under here because I don't want to get blue all over this mat, because the mat doesn't absorb the color and it would transfer. Okay, so let me grab my inks. So I have soft seafoam if we need it, but we're going to use the shaded spruce. Move these out of the way. I'm a little sniffly today. Allergies. And pear pizzazz. So let's see how this goes. You want to apply one color at a time. Alright, so you crumble this up and you get it to a place where you like it. You see, and this is going to give you, you know, angles and splotches. And how dark it is depends on how hard you push. So I just dip it in here, grab some color. This is the shaded spruce. And then I just pop it on until it fades enough that I need to have more. And this is pretty quick. Look, that's enough of that right there. Then you're going to turn it around and find a clean spot and go to your next color. I'm hoping this pear pizzazz shows up here really well. And then afterwards, if you want to reapply some more. I don't know how this is coming across on camera, but the pear pizzazz looks good. If you don't like the way the image, or this, how the squishies look, I call them squishies, just, oh, it's coming up good. Alright, oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Right, I think I'm going to add a little more shaded spruce to this side. There we go. I think that's done it for me. Well, Mandy's asking about my family. My family's doing well. Unfortunately, Jeff is waiting for a surgery date. He's going to have back surgery. He's got a herniated disc that's pressing on his sciatica nerve, which is causing severe pain and inhibiting his ability to walk at times in his left leg. So that's what we're facing. Other than that, we're doing good, and we're just waiting for the schools to decide if they're going to reopen, actually have the children go to school, or if there's going to be online. So that's the challenge right now. Okay, so this is done, and then all you're going to do is just glue it on here. And I think that looks good. So on the, you know what else would look nice is that seaside spray. You could do this technique on seaside spray because it's a very light paper. The shimmer, if you wanted shimmer. I hope it helps you. The doctor seems pretty certain, Mandy, that this procedure, my glue is always plugged up. This procedure will fix his issue and hopefully not require any, what do they call that? What's that other stuff? Fusion. So, but his aunt has her, almost her entire back fused, and she had scoliosis as a child, and that's was the outcome of that issue. I think I have a, there we go. Had a glue plug. I think we've got past it now. Yep, there we go. I love Tombow except when it gets plugged up. All right, so there we go. Put this here. See, this goes really, really quickly. And then I'm going to stick these on. I didn't trim these. I left them true to size. On my other card, I did trim a little. Now this seems to fade into the background. I'm wondering if I should put a little, maybe add a little pear pizzazz to it. Or even, let me try something real quick. Look, I made a boo-boo. I accidentally stuck a dirty stamp on my soft seafoam, so hopefully it'll come clean soon. Try this. I lay this on here and just apply a little color. Ooh, I'm gonna get inky pink fingers, Pam. I may have ruined this, but we'll see. A little bit more. That's not too bad. It's something. It just needed to be a little darker than the background paper. There. And then I can apply some Wink of Stella to really brighten it up. Hello, Pat. How are you this morning? Pat has joined us from Virginia. She's on our STARS team. All right, so let me see. I think what I did is I used these new Stampin' Seals, which I really like. Although I did have trouble with like the regular. This is the Stampin' Seal Plus. I had a little problem with the regular, but DS was quick to replace it when I called them. Yes, inky fingers is a sign of a good crafter. As long as you aren't transferring it everywhere. I did manage to get some ink on Allie's nose yesterday. And she still has it today. She refuses to clean it off. Okay, here. All right. Now I'm going to put a little Stella on this leaf, these leaves, before I go too far. So has anybody ever tried working with tissue paper in their stamping before today? I mean, I like it. And this was totally random because I didn't have a plan for today. But I was talking to Kim a couple days ago, and we were talking about stamping techniques, and she was telling me about, I think it was either wax paper or foil. And I mentioned tissue paper, and guess what? Today we're working with tissue paper. I thought that'd be a good thing to share, because you can do, if you want to make your own background, you can do that. All right. Oh, I forgot to use the dots from the stamp set. There's a little batch in here of dots. I call them dots, but I guess they're just like, I don't know if it's supposed to be resemble dirt on the ground or whatever, but I used that in this particular card in a few spots, but that's okay. All right, now to put on the linen thread, I did the same thing. I just put a few gobs of this, and then I took some of the linen, snipped it off, and I wrapped it around my fingers, and like a took it off and then plopped it on here. Trim it up a bit. I'm not too particular about how these look because I think the more organic, the better. threw in some dimensionals, and it's and add some bling, and it's done. You always need a little bling, I think. I think bling makes anything better. You know, and the tissue paper is like using it, it kind of comes and goes, but you know, it's a fun thing to do with kids at school or just at home. There we go, a bit of encouragement. And I use these gold glitter enamel dots to add a little bit of bling, because gold and green go nicely together. And then I have a green story or a gold story to tell you, because I had a big surprise yesterday. There. I think I put 3 on here, the large and the next size. I like that this has 4 different sizes, and it goes down to that teeny tiny one. That's really nice. That's a nice little surprise somewhere. There, and where did I put the other? And then I used this size. I placed one here and here, and then a teeny tiny one. And I've obviously used a lot of these because look, all of them are gone off of this piece. So the teeny ones must be my favorite. There. There, that's one done. All right, I would say that after trying it on the soft seafoam, that's a good option, but I probably prefer the white. I think it's just brighter, but it looks good. There we go. What's the bleeding tissue? Oh, is that when you have colored tissue paper, Susan, and you wet it and then apply it to paper? All right. So let me clear some of this up and we'll get started with number 2. Number 2 is a little bit more involved, I guess you could say. It involves Versamark. So that is involved. Right here.